Could the Iran deal live after all? To former State Department advisor under Bush 43 and President Trump, Christian Whiton. Christian, not long ago, it felt like this was going to be one of the first things jettisoned from the old regime, from the old Obama legacy, and now a lot of whispers that it will be tweaked but remain in place.
Yeah, I wouldn't take that for certain just yet. I think Rich's reporting is good and right on and accurate as to what sort of the people around Trump are saying, which includes the foreign policy establishment, includes European diplomats for whom this Iran deal, negotiating with the regime, trusting this regime is sort of an article of faith. But they're also, the smacks of Trump's decision to pull out of Paris when a lot of people around him told him to stay in. But ultimately, Trump decided to fulfill a campaign promise to pull out of a deal that he called horrible. Another part of Rich's reports talked about the murder going on inside Iran, the torture, the suppression of dissent. This is a terrible time for the United States to appear to be going soft on Iran. So I think it's still possible that President Trump decides that it's time to put an end to this horrible deal.
So those in his inner circle who may be suggesting that he just stays with it, maybe tweaks it a little bit, what's their argument? Why would they think it's better to continue this when it's clear, to your point, the relationship with North Korea is very disturbing. They're exporting terror in the region, and of course, what's happening within the country itself, a potential uprising that we'd obviously like to see play out.
There are two main arguments that supporters of the Iran deal are making. The first is that the deal was constructed horribly and that it front-loaded all of the benefits for Iran. A lot of the goodies, including that plane full of cash in the middle of the night, were already delivered, so that walking away actually just dispenses with some of the benefits to us and some of the inhibitions on Iran. That's one of their arguments. The other argument, which is even more fallacious, is that Congress is going to enact some provisions that will improve or create a pathway to improving this deal, which is completely ludicrous because Congress has had 3 months to do that, failed. Now, Chairman Corker, the outgoing head of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, is saying he can round up 60 votes, a near impossibility on any issue on Capitol Hill if he just has more time. So none of those claims really add up.
Christian, speaking of ludicrous, most folks consider this deal to be a de facto countdown to them ultimately getting a nuclear weapon. And also the inspection process around it has been a joke from day one. No matter what happens, whether it's altered somewhat or completely jettisoned, what can we expect with respect to being able to make sure that Iran never gets a nuclear weapon? At least this current regime, for sure.
Well, and I think you hit it right on the head. It's sort of like North Korea, and unfortunately, regime change became conflated with regime destruction, such as what happened in Iraq and some of the adventures and mistakes that have been made in recent decades. But ultimately, security will come to the Middle East when Iran's government is more reflective of the will of its own people who want modernity, who want an end to their own foreign adventures, including this nuclear weapons program, including the spreading of terrorism and war around the Middle East. Same in North Korea. Yes, of course, we sort of have an obligation to look for deals and diplomatic solutions that can mitigate some of these threats. But ultimately, these are two extremely dangerous regimes that sort of view themselves as war with the United States, regardless of what we think and say.
Yeah. Christian Whiton, you're one of the best, man. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Charles.